The light was supposed to go on right there. Oh, are you afraid of the dark? It's time to talk about lights. Hey everyone, Morgan here. So today we are going to be talking about lighting and all the different options. As you can see here, I definitely rely on candles. One of the reasons is because I can stockpile beeswax or soy, whatever you want, but I stockpile beeswax so that I can make candles, because making candles is super easy as long as I have some water and a double boiler and the wax lasts for literally ever. I could even make wick out of literal cotton shirts and stuff. So yeah, as long as I have that stuff, I'll be able to make candles. Use common sense fire safety and you'll be good. You know, don't put in any near flammable things. Of course, if you're not comfortable with candles, I'm not here to convince you. I'm just saying candles are a great resource. Otherwise, we have flashlights. They're really nice. This is by UCO. This is the Pika. Come on, there we go. This is a really nice flashlight. I much prefer headlamps over anything, headlamps and lanterns, because look, hands-free. I love these lanterns. These are in like every room in our house. Bathrooms, bedrooms, the kids' bedrooms. I mean, literally everywhere. This is a little tiny stream light. I don't think this has batteries in it because I think the button is definitely broken. We don't use this one anymore, but we have another one similar like this. A few EDC flashlights. When you are storing flashlights, headlamps, whatever for emergency purposes, you typically don't want to store them with the batteries in them because the batteries can easily corrode. I don't like storing the batteries in these. I happen to have batteries in these. They also make rechargeable one of these, which I want to get all rechargeable everything. But typically, if you are going to store something away and not use it as often or very often, then take the batteries out because the batteries can actually corrode and get all nasty and gross in there, especially if they're kept in really bad conditions, like in your car or something like that. Usually inside the house, it's not that big of a deal. But, so that's why I'm just kind of like meh about it. But definitely, you know, put the batteries like next to it, put it in like a Ziploc bag, and then put the batteries next to it. This is our prepper closet, but yeah, all of our batteries are right here and here. So the batteries are adjacent. This is just right here, okay? So the batteries are adjacent or next to, near, whatever. Anyway, these are just little dollar store flashlights. You know, there's nothing wrong with them. I've got all kinds of flashlights from everywhere. They're not like the brightest, they're not the best, but are they going to let you see around? Yeah, sure. So as I'm talking about rechargeable stuff, I like anything that's rechargeable. I have a lot of rechargeable batteries by themselves. So even things that do take batteries, we have a ton of rechargeable batteries. And then we also have the charger right here, in which we can plug into any sort of solar generator, anything like this, any generator, but we have a lot of these battery backup solar generators. Of course, we also have disposable batteries. We have both. It's not an either or situation. We have the disposable and the rechargeable. So we might use the disposable first and then move on to the rechargeable, whatever, right? When we were in Alaska, we had a Ring camera and it got down to like -20s, -40s there, okay? It got really cold for an extended period of time. And when we came back, the batteries would charge and they'd say they're charged, but then we would put them in and they would only last like a week, if that. And I truly believe that those negative temps in Alaska really damage those batteries. That's the same with any batteries. It doesn't matter what type of battery, it's lithium or whatever. It can severely, extreme cold and extreme heat can damage batteries. So keep them in like a between like 70 and 80, even like 60 to 80 is okay temperatures for batteries. And we're talking about general storage here. When we're coming to usage, like if you're using, you know, a flashlight in, you know, extreme cold conditions or extreme heat conditions, you know, you're using it. You're using the battery and, you know, it is what it is, however long it lasts. Extreme heat and extreme cold can deplete the batteries very, very fast. Very fast, excuse me. So that's just something that you need to keep in mind there too. Having something like these little kind of handheld chargers are really good too for just charging, you know, like your headlamps or flashlights or anything like that. You know, if you have something that's like just like a little, this one's a really big charger for batteries, but if you have one of those little mini ones, some of the little mini ones you can charge via USB-C and stuff, but usually they plug into a wall socket. But anyway, you have these as well, and you know, these can work. We have a bunch of battery backups though, so we have tons of ways to recharge stuff. Glow sticks are awesome. The kids love glow sticks, okay? We can put them around their neck and play with them or whatever. I think glow sticks are more for entertainment purposes, for like everyday and camping and blackouts and stuff like that, rather than actually using them as light sources. But you could use them as like guiding along hallways or something like that. You know, like we can make it fun with glow sticks. You know, they only last 12 to 24 hours depending on the glow stick. This on the outside of my bug out bag is actually a reusable glow. It's not a glow stick, it's just glow thing. Anyway, it's reusable. It recharges every single time it's in light, any light. I've only kept it really inside, and it charges and then glows for a super long time. So these are really nice as well. A few other ideas that you could like spread across the home would be like these push button lights. These are great. They run on batteries. You can just press them and they're great. We had these in the RV. We loved them, and the batteries lasted a long time in them. So, you know, we had them everywhere, and we just boop, press it on and, you know, whenever we wanted, because we were off grid a lot. So it was really nice to have these battery operated push button, you know, lights. I also had this little light bulb for some time, but it lost a charge super fast. So one of the things you really want to do with any battery operated device is check the charge. I would charge it, and then a week later I would come and check it and it was dead. So that is completely useless to me. My point is, you need to make sure that you are not only checking on your batteries to make sure there's no corrosion or anything like that on like a fairly regular basis every 3 to 6 months, but you also need to check the charges of everything and then charge everything up if you feel it's necessary. Then I would just start stocking up on disposable and rechargeable batteries. Last thing I want to talk about are these solar lights. I love these solar lights because you can just have them outside. They're solar path lights. Have them outside, have them being charged by the sun, you know, all day, and then you can bring them in at night. Have them as nice path lights during the day and emergency lighting at night. Ooh. You can make like a little blackout box if you so choose. I've done a video about that before, where it's like, you know, you have everything like in a box, and whenever you need it, you just go to it and pull it out and then get everything from that blackout box. I have my prepper closet here, so I have this organizational thing with all of our blackout stuff. Plus I have lights everywhere, like I said, in every room of the house. So it's a lot going on. We have lights everywhere. But, you know, light is a valuable resource, something that we can easily stock up on. Remember, this is a slow and steady pace. We are not rushing to the finish line. This is a journey. So at first, get like maybe a pack of AA with like a headlamp or something, right? And then next you can get these tea lights with a lantern. By the way, I got these from IKEA and these from Walmart back in the day. Now I get all my tea lights either from the dollar store or Amazon. Write out a list of what lighting options you want and just start down the list. Say, okay, I want this rechargeable headlamp with this battery backup. Bam, that's a match made in heaven, right? I want these lanterns next, and blah, 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 and so on and so forth. So make your list and budget and stay the course. Thank you all so much for watching. Let me know your favorite lighting options down below in the comment. Conquer tomorrow by preparing today, and I will see you in the next video. And please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and download that 30-day workbook down below in the description. Thank you all so much for watching. Bye-bye.